This video is about to get real. Okay, so hey guys, what's up? My name is Queenie and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button down below and yeah, comment, thumbs up, all that fun stuff. And as you can see from the title of this video, it's going to be all about my natural hair regrets and mistakes. Every year you learn something new, and like I feel like after your first year or two natural, you're like, I got this. No, you don't. So I'm just gonna go down a list of things that I regret doing in this past year that I think you should think about before you go through the same thing. Perhaps. Let's get into it. So the first thing on my list is letting other people braid my hair. Can you chill a little bit? Can you chill with that fine-tooth comb raking through my tight 4 hair, please? That's something I definitely learned, is like, just because you're putting your hair into a protective style, that protective style can ruin your hair before you even like get it into the style. You're ruining your hair before you even get it into the protective style. Like, you've already defeated the purpose because the person doing your hair has been so aggressive with it. So it kind of like, and the second thing is becoming obsessed with wash and goes. So as soon as I realized that I could do a wash and go, I was like, everyday wash and go. It's actually not everyday wash and go. That's not how it needs to be. And I feel like because of that, I went through drying out my hair so many times without even knowing it, because I didn't take the correct steps to prepare my hair for the wash and go. I would wash my hair, condition it, and put product in it, but I wouldn't use a lot because I was scared that, oh, it's gonna flake, it's gonna get clumpy. I didn't really look into too much of what would work with this gel. I just kind of like stayed away from adding too much leave-in conditioner or adding too much any of product besides gel, because I didn't want it to turn white and flake and get nasty. Now I realize the priority of my hair is the health and not the style. So if I can't do wash and goes without using my hydrating products, I shouldn't do wash and goes. Okay, so the third thing is using a fake Denman brush. So I have this brush that I got from the beauty supply store that looks like a Denman brush. It's supposed to be a knockoff Denman brush. Biggest mistake of my life, first of all, because Denman brushes are made a specific way. This is the fake Denman brush. This is a real Denman brush. This brush itself though is very hard and rigid. It doesn't bend. This bends with your hair, so look at that. You see how it like spreads? This doesn't spread. So when you brush through your hair, this is going through your hair. This, I feel like, is working with your hair because it bends and moves and takes the shape of your hair. This literally rips through my hair, and I use this for months. Like, I use this forever. Look at this. I can squish this. I can't squish this like that. Like, look at how hard this is. So that was that. Definitely learned my lesson there. So the fourth thing I want to talk about is using a hard brush on my edges. Sometimes I use a toothbrush, sometimes I use a full brush. This brush like needs to go. So basically using a toothbrush on my edges is fine, but you have to make sure it's a soft toothbrush and it's not full of gel, it's not too hard, because this has ripped out my edges surprisingly, and so has this if I'm too aggressive. Baby hairs are so fine and so gentle, you don't want to do too much unless unless nothing. You don't want to do too much. If anything, sometimes I use this nowadays just to swoop it and then like use my fingers to tap it into place. Other than that, don't be too aggressive with brushes on your edges because you'll notice that they'll slowly start fading. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is buying cheap products just for the hell of it. And nothing wrong with buying inexpensive products. I'm all for that because I have a lot of inexpensive products that work great. But there's certain things and certain brands that I know necessarily do not work for my hair. But if I see it on sale, I'll go grab it. And I'm like, girl, that's not gonna work for you. Put it down. So I've wasted a lot of money on products that are cheap, but they add up and then they become a waste of money, you know? So be really selective with what you buy. And I do find that when I spend the extra few dollars on something that's a little more expensive, I usually end up going through the whole thing instead of just dashing it away somewhere when I feel like it's not working well. If I spent a lot of money on it, I will make it work. You know what I mean? So cheap products sometimes have really cheap ingredients, meaning they won't work as well. But hey, there are some gems out there. Okay, so the next thing is something you guys are all going to be like, duh, but I have recently stopped using sulfate shampoos. Everybody, I know I've heard people say stop use sulfate free, use sulfate free, and I was like, girl, it's not a big deal. I like my hair to feel squeaky clean. Like, I like it to be clean, which I do. I like my hair to be clean, but I have noticed a difference in switching to sulfate free shampoos, that my hair is a lot more moisturized when I come out of the shower, and because of that there's a lot less frizz, it's a lot more defined, it's easy to work with, it retains moisture better, it's softer. So many different benefits that I'm like, I should have just listened the first time. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is leaving my hair in old buns. I know we're all guilty for this. Like, when you get lazy, you just throw in a bun and you leave it all week, 2 weeks sometimes. Like, you just don't care. You maybe brush up your edges a little bit and go, and you're like, my hair's been in a bun for like days, and it's like, whatever. But your hair in that bun is drying up. I feel like my hair gets so dry in those buns, and I have extra breakage, like a lot of stuff happens. So when my hair is drying out, I feel like it's dying, you know? So I've been trying to avoid leaving it in those old, dry, crusty buns because it really does a lot of damage to my hair over time. So with that being said, it takes me to the next point, which is slicking my hair too much. Putting it into the buns, in low buns, side buns, high buns, all of that. Slicking it into ponytails and buns. Not only is it causing a lot of tension on my hairline, it's causing a lot of tension on my edges, like it's making them weaker, and it's like, it's tight on your scalp. And then on top of that, if you're leaving that for a long time, your hair itself is drying out. And then when you take it out, you have all these tangles and knots and breakage and all this stuff that just didn't need to happen if you just stayed on top of your routine. So I just try to be a little more strict with that and make sure that I don't leave my hair in these old buns, because then I'll suffer later. Dealing with that would be a lot more difficult after the 2 weeks that I left it, rather than just like doing it in a few days, you know what I mean? And my next point, talking about tension on my hairline, wearing wigs a lot and securing the front with Got To Be also caught up to me a little bit. I did have a point where I felt like my edges were thinning out, and it was because I was using a lot of Got To Be glue. It's a glue, it's a gel, whatever. I use a lot of Got To Be on my hairline, and I try to like skip my edges, but sometimes it gets on there, and then removing it is also like a process. I try to be as gentle as possible, but when you're doing it so much, sometimes I do find that it becomes a little, it strains your hair a little bit, you know? Okay, so like I said, when it came to the wash and goes, blow drying my hair when it is already dry, so that is a big no-no that I have learned. So I try not to do that. Try to make sure that when you are diffusing your hair or blow drying it, your hair is very properly moisturized from the inside out, not just coated with butters and oils. Taking me to my next point, which is abusing oils. Oils don't moisturize your hair. They provide strength and nourishment. Is that a word? They provide strength, and they give your hair that healthy like look and feel. They give you a lot of nutrients, but it doesn't actually moisturize your hair. Moisture comes from water, you know what I mean? And you need to use products that help attract moisture. So maybe like something like glycerin, if that works for your hair, or just a water-based product to give your hair the water it needs. And if they have other good ingredients, it'll help keep it in. But oil on its own doesn't necessarily moisturize your hair. It makes it look shiny, it gives it some health benefits, and it does a lot of nutritional things for your hair, helps your scalp, helps growth, all that stuff, but it's not actually softening your hair. It might be making it smoother and silkier to brush through depending on your hair type. And that's about it. So don't abuse oils. I definitely did. I abuse butters and oils like they were everything. I hate butters at this point because I abused it so much. It just leaves a nasty coat on my hair and I hate it. That's what I learned. Those are my regrets. Like I don't know, I didn't think I'd be making this video again, you know? Those are my things that I've learned in the past year, and I hope they help you. Of course, you don't have to listen to all of this. These are just things to think about. Everyone's hair is different. Comment down below, let me know what you have learned in this past year that you should not do to your natural hair and how you should actually maintain it. Let me know some tips, share with everybody. Don't be rude and keep it to yourself, because we all need to know. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you thumbs up, comment, turn on the notification button so you don't miss any videos, and of course subscribe, and follow me on my Instagram and Snapchat, because I like to update you guys throughout my week and get your opinion on stuff, and just, I don't know, talk to you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.